What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Champion Living Podcast, the only podcast crossing the lines between the sport of rodeo and fitness. Today's episode, the boys and I are jumping into all the current events of professional rodeo and professional bull riding, including Kid Rock's Rock and Roll Rodeo, PBR teams, and everything in between. This episode is brought to you by Beastmaster Rodeo. Been with us since the beginning. They are revolutionizing the game of rodeo gear. You can check them out at beastmasterrodeo.com. Use our discount code ChampionLiving24, all one word, not case sensitive. Going to save you 10% on all their gear. Hui brands, we're always rocking Hui brands. We have got their lid right now. I had to make sure I wasn't going to match with Paul. I've got my backup right here. It's like if he has this on, I'm changing it. You can check them out at getyourhui.com. Use our discount code ChampionLiving, all one word, going to save you 10% on all your Hui gear. And Colorado Craft Beef, they have the best beef out there, and it is from the ranch straight to your door. Can't beat it. Use our discount code ChampionLiving, one word, going to save you 10% on all of their products. Check them out at coloradocraftbeef.com.
7 a.m.
Yeah, it's 8 a.m. your time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I just like to think I'm on mountain time. That way it feels like I'm up earlier.
I like that.
5 o'clock somewhere. This guy just makes up
5
his own
o'clock.
rules.
I better get
He's
up.
like, I'm up.
Sun's up.
There's one.
Been
There's
up for a
one.
while.
There's one household in Mountain Home, Arkansas, that just doesn't follow the time change rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not for our house.
Yeah, he's at the store. Why aren't you open? No, it is.
Why aren't you open? Don't you guys know what time it is?
Oh, that's
funny.
good stuff. Good stuff. It has just been blowing and nasty here for a week. Just straight. No sunlight. Just wind. Lots of wind. It's messing me up. Messing up my sinuses are killing me.
It is windy everywhere. Have you guys seen all those fires in Texas?
Yeah, dude.
Man, I've been seeing a bunch of the rodeo community that have had to evacuate and have lost horses. I mean, I saw a text message thread, and this chick said that they were trying to get out and they couldn't. All roads were blocked, and they just had to park. They had their horses, and they literally had to let the fire pass over the rig and the trailer, and so they could get out.
Way.
And so and it singed a bunch of the horses' hair, and they were worried that their horses, a couple of them, maybe it had damaged their eyesight and all kinds of stuff. They literally had to just let the fire pass over them to be able to get out.
Ooh.
And but I mean, anyway, just the houses that are lost. And I mean, I haven't heard official numbers as far as lives lost, but I mean, it's just chaos. But the last thing I saw was 500,000 acres has been consumed by this fire. I mean, it's just wild, man.
The wind across the United States right now too is perfect storm for something so catastrophic like that. I have such a hard time not going down the conspiracy theory when that stuff happens.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
That is so scary and crazy, and all our thoughts and prayers are definitely with everybody out there that's having to deal with that. That is unreal. I'm sure there'll be ways to
1 million acres is the latest count.
The latest 1 million acres. Yeah, double what I thought. That's insane.
When did this start?
That's
24 hours
insane.
ago?
It's been going for a couple
48
days.
hours?
I saw that. I saw that. I'm not entirely sure when it started, but I've been seeing stuff for the last couple days about it, and of course, it was a little bit. Please pray for the fire surrounding us, and there was some stuff about Clarendon College. I think is it Clarendon? Yeah, Clarendon. Maybe they were having some Brett Franks was having some issues with some property or something, and so that was 2 days ago. I think I saw that 3 days ago, and then it's obviously just grown wildly since then. But
damn,
it's crazy, man.
It started. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah,
again, super wild. But oh man, what's going on in regular life? You guys,
there's not really a smooth transition from that. You know what I'm saying? There's not really a smooth transition once you pull that. There's nothing you can say. But we're good over here. We're wide open, busy. We got I got a conference on Saturday with church And so that's exciting. And then Sunday, Conley has a gymnastics meet back in St. Louis. So
Nice.
we have to be there, I think, super early. So it's like a 4 a.m. get up and get kids on the road and get up to St. Louis and watch her go do the gymnastics meet. And then that's kind of
bring
our
the whole
weekend.
crew with you?
No, usually if we can help it, we don't. We'll send the boys to Lacey's folks. They'll have like a sleepover the night before, and then we'll usually keep Cutler because he's still nursing through the night, and so we'll take Cutler and Conley, and it makes it much more enjoyable than trying to corral all three boys while we're trying to watch Conley and stuff. So yeah. So anyway, so that's this weekend, and then next week I get to head to McAllister and go to XFL training camp.
That's gonna be cool
down there. Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Is that at the Star?
I don't know. I don't think it's at the Star, but it's like in that vicinity, right within a couple miles there, because all the XFL teams all train out of that same few miles. It's kind of interesting how they've got it set up, like these first inaugural seasons here of kickstarting the XFL back up, and now it's merged, but they all train right there. And then they'll share a chartered jet to their home city to play each other on the weekend. So when the season starts,
that's actually really
teams, cool. Two teams will share a jet and they'll go, and obviously one team will be the home team and then the away team, and then they fly back and they train. And so they all can I don't know exactly like hotels, condos, that kind of stuff, but they've got all of them housed in one area. And then of course they all have home cities that they travel to and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. John Sisk is the head strength guy, at least for the DC Defenders. I don't know exactly how the structure works, but I've followed him on Instagram and was looking at some of the stuff, and it looks pretty cool. And then my stepdad, who's the O-line coach, texted me, and he was like, "Hey, I've talked to John. Like, he's so excited that you're coming, and he's committed to actually being able to take you around the weight room, and you'll get to spend most of the day with him." And I was like, okay. I thought I was maybe just going to get to slip in the back door and watch for a little bit.
Whoa,
or something.
Logan.
So that's excuse. Oh, come on now. Such a child. Such a
child.
Can't
set me up like that. But, you can't set me up like
that's
that.
Fair. That was a layup. That was a layup. But
too easy.
Anyway, I'm excited to go down there and check
it
out and get to hang out for a day and then go to McAllister and do a little.
You get your full dose of football training, which is dope. I like it.
Yeah.
And getting to see different environments. That's going to be a really cool place to be at that. I compare that with the NFL. That's the top. That's an elite level.
It's definitely these guys. Some of these guys have been in the NFL before. Some are trying to get back. Some are, they weren't quite good enough. And I love how they've made this like a feeder league for the NFL now. I think in years past when the XFL was trying to get going, I think it was owned by Vince McMahon. It was like indirect competition, right? They wanted to make it like an entertainment football league, and then you had your NFL. Well, now
Vince McMahon is the guy who did WWE, right?
Yeah, like WWF, like he's the old school. Well, The Rock and two others own it. His ex-wife and somebody else. Like there's three of them, and they've been able to boot this up to where it's a feeder league, right? They're kind of working in partnership with the NFL, which is the way it should be. And I think I'm gonna lie, but I want to say that there was maybe there were lots of athletes last year after the XFL season that got tryouts with NFL teams. So
that's super cool.
There was 10 or more. I'm not entirely sure. And so they have an opportunity to go play there.
You should watch Last Chance U on Netflix before you go.
I like that.
Yeah, I have watched. I have
really
watched
cool.
Last Chance
about
U. It is
East Mississippi Community College.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That used to be our jam when we were rodeoing. And Tim and Jess and I, we would just binge Last Chance U going down the road. That was a good. It was a pretty good season.
Just thinking that's probably about the type of athlete that you're going to be encountering at XFL.
Yeah, probably. I mean, probably. But one of the things that I think I'm excited about is in talking with my stepdad. Of course, I don't know for a fact, but there's some of these guys in there. They just love to play football.
Mm-hmm.
They really have no desire to go play for the NFL, but their season is short. I mean, they just reported to camp maybe January 26th or February 26th or January 26th. And then they're done like May, June. So it's okay, awesome. 6 months out of the year and they can go make some money. Sure, they're not making NFL money.
I want to see what the typical salary is in the XFL.
they want to go and they still love playing football, and it's an opportunity for them to go and do that. And so anyway, it's
Dude, 5,000 a week with $1,000 bonus per win. It's around
yeah,
60 grand for. I mean, that's not a lot of money, but to be able to do what you love and play
Yeah,
football,
you're
and
doing it half a year, and then you
yeah,
go.
to do it for 6 months, like, dude,
Yep.
hell yeah, I would do that in
Yeah.
a heartbeat. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's gonna be a really great experience, man. I'm excited for you. Really excited for you. What I missed it. The Kid Rock and Roll draft. Did you guys get
Was it
catch up
no?
with that?
I
So
haven't
no,
heard.
it was under wraps. It was
Oh,
like
it
I
was.
hate that.
they filmed it, and they're going to release the production of it at a
Oh.
later date. I think it was like maybe the middle of the month coming up, maybe.
March, yeah.
I saw the date, but it happened
Okay.
on Tuesday, and I think it was just like a private setting. But they had like the whole. I mean, it was a production. Like they had
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cameras
Tables
and
and all
everything,
that.
and they will show it. Just not live,
Did,
obviously.
Have
did you
they
guys see that?
announced
That's
teams for
rodeo
that?
reel.
Yes, that was so
I'm sorry.
funny.
Where they were
Yes.
like, it was like the email that you did not get selected
Yeah.
for the draft, or whatever.
Son of a-
Anyway, it was so funny. Oh man, I wonder how many guys got that. I'm just curious as to how many guys actually applied for the draft, and then I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure there was quite a few. You would think. I thought about it for about 1 second.
1.1
May
seconds, yeah.
17th is when the
Oh wow. Okay.
or no, that's not
probably
right.
the first.
That's the event.
I would say that's gonna be the first rodeo.
Yeah, that's the event.
Yeah, but they're gonna broadcast the draft at a later
what
at a later
happened last
date.
Tuesday.
And is it
yes.
just one event at this point in time? Is it just kind of like a one and done thing, or
As
is
far
this
as
gonna
I
be a season?
understand, it looks like okay. Here we go. We got head-to-head competition. In between Kid
need
Rock
time.
performing live concerts, the teams will be. So he's going to be playing music this whole time during this.
Of course.
But it's a tournament style bracket, and so they'll be head-to-head teams. So all 6 teams will match up, and then the winners from each of those, and then a wild card since there's 6, and then we'll have a semifinals and a finals. So there'll be
Is this
1,
all in
2,
like
3,
one
4.
weekend?
It's
4
gonna be at
rounds.
AT&T Stadium in
Yeah,
Dallas.
I believe it's going to
and
happen.
It looks like it's just one day.
Yeah, I think the 17th.
Oh no, here it is. 18th and 19th. Oh no, that's
the
it's in
PBR.
conjunction. So it's in conjunction with the World Finals.
Yeah, it's like
So they're gonna
the
do this rock and roll rodeo the 17th, and they'll kick off that. I don't know. Are they doing 2 weekends again of World Finals?
they've changed it. So they were supposed to, and then I think something happened with the venue there in Fort Worth. They're still going to be there, but they're going to do elimination rounds for the World Finals earlier in the week, then have the rock and rodeo, and then whoever made it through the elimination rounds for the PBR finals will all be on the 18th and 19th. So it's really different than what it's been in the years past.
Wow.
And this is a WCRA event. Is that right?
I think so.
I think it is.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, May 17th for $1 million purse, baby. Event
And the
payout.
plot
Let's look
thickens.
at this. Yeah.
Yeah, so our coaches are Trevor Brazil, Charmaine James, Bobby Moat, Cody Ole, Sid Steiner, and Fred Whitfield.
Legends.
Dude, that's cool.
That's going to be rank.
That's going to be really ranked. So this is how it's breaking down. $1 million purse for the rodeo will be broken out with $500,000 going to the winning team. The remaining $500,000 will be paid out to competitors and coaches in various ways. So top 2 bareback riding athletes, well, actually it looks like top 2 in every single event will get 27, almost 28,000.
Oh, no. Wait, here we go. This is news to me. So using a format similar to drag racing, each discipline will see 2 competitors performing their sport at the exact same time.
I saw
competing
that.
for the best time.
I
That's
saw
gonna be
that. I
dope.
was like, they're gonna have 2 like bucking horse arenas going on, and
Yeah.
they'll both. I don't know how that works. Like,
They
if your
nod
horse
on
isn't
3 or
standing, you
what?
both have to nod
Like,
on like at the same time.
They
You
just
1,
know,
2,
open the
how that
3,
gate.
goes,
go!
but
Yeah,
yeah,
Red
like
light,
ready
yellow
or
light, green
not.
light.
yeah, like there we go. Okay, hope you're ready. But
Oh, I
anyway,
love, dude. That'd be so fun to
I
watch.
did see that, and I was like, man, that's gonna be spicy, interesting.
Oh,
I
this
think.
is really cool, man. Really cool. So
The
who
barrel racing will
qualified?
be kind of fun to watch, and the calf roping, I think. The calf roping and barrel racing, I think, will be the most exciting to watch. Go head to head like that.
Oh yeah. I wish that they would buck the bulls and the horses in the same arena, like in the
Yeah.
same
So there's no
pit
bull
with
riding.
each other.
So
Just
that's
go. Oh yeah, it's just horses,
it's
roping, and
just
time events.
it's what do we got? Barrel racing, bareback, saddle bronc, tie down, team roping, steer
Team
wrestling,
roping.
breakaway. So yeah, a full rodeo
So
minus the bull
stoked
riding.
breakaways in there, as it should be. You know that's gonna be exciting as shit. Girls roping calves and 1.5, 1.6 right next to each
Yeah.
other on opposite. Like it's gonna be neat to watch. And then I just saw that they had the Rodeo Corpus Christi, and they created a free rider team out of that. The top nominations. for
That's
that.
right. Yep.
So let's see how that. The only path for non-drafted contestants is to compete by declaring the eligibility through. Oh, they have a virtual rodeo qualifier and earning leaderboard positions in the top 20 at Rodeo Corpus Christi. So if you didn't get drafted here in the beginning of May, this team is going to be able to be formed from the top people out of that qualifier. So like they had the
And that's
qualifier for San
is
Antonio.
is that the WCRA
Yes.
like event?
Yes.
So whoever comes out of the top. Okay.
Yeah, so same thing. Like you would have to nominate or declare your rodeos to get into those events, the
Into Corpus or
WCRA,
whatever.
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yep,
And then
yep.
if you go to Corpus and it says earning a leaderboard position in the top 20. So I don't know exactly what that means. Oh. No, I don't know what this is talking about. It's either saying you have to be in the top 20 in the WCRA to get into Corpus or top 20
I think
at
that's-
Corpus, but
I think that's how that works. It's usually like the top 20 or something like that, and they break it up and they take guys to. But the all of this can be summed up with the fact that rodeo is evolving.
Yeah.
And it is
Did you
so
see the
cool to see the Oklahoma Wildcatters. Is that what you're going to bring up?
I was in a minute, but this appeared. They're giving everyone just $4,000 for appearing. They set aside $320,000 for each athlete as a whole, so $4,000 a person to just show up to be there. So like that right there is a big game changer when it comes to pay for an event. What did they pay you at Houston? $500 a day?
Yeah, something like
like
that. Yeah, to go
And
sign
you have to
autographs.
sign autographs.
Yeah, yeah.
One day. And again, this
Yep.
is a little different because it's a little bit more of a small group of
Yep.
people, but
Yeah.
still, that's badass. $4,000 just to show up, and then on top of that, look, the head coach and assistant coaches are getting $27,000.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like, that's dope.
this is what we need. The sport needs. Whether this is the answer, I know that it's at least an attempt at something different than the status quo. And whether I'm sure that it'll be refined, it'll be tweaked, maybe it'll go away, maybe it'll come back, maybe it'll be here for good. But I do know that we're at least trying things that are different than what we've done in the past. And we're trying to evolve the sport of rodeo, and that's what's important. Is that there's so many people who are like, rodeo doesn't belong in this and that, and it's not a team sport. And we saw that with the PBR teams. And at the end of the day, we've got to do something different if we want to see our athletes reaching that Tom Brady status. The training that we're able to give them is one huge step. But if the money's not there, and if they've got to get on 90 head a year to be able to make $1 million, it's not it still doesn't work, and we've got to be able to do something different. And I would love to see, in 10, 15 years, see these, dads and moms that are able to make a good living. And you know what? Most weeks they can still take their kids to school and pick them up. You know what I'm saying? They can be at home training, and they can go to events, and they don't have to, be gone for 3 months at a time.
Here's a
ahead.
little food for thought for you. I saw an old rodeo program that somebody shared from back in the 80s, maybe early 80s. Don Gay was leading the bull ride, and he had like 35 or 40,001 heading into the NFR. That's what it was. It was an NFR brochure or whatever you call those. And I so curious. I typed it into like an inflation adjusted calculator, and it came out to pretty much exactly what number one had in the bull riding coming into this year's NFR.
That's
so
cool.
in
That's
reality,
crazy.
it feels like we're making more money, and we're really not.
We're not.
Than we were in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like that money has the same purchase power that it had in the 80s. So it looks like an enormous
Biden.
number, but it's not. So
appreciate it. Oh, that's
so really
crazy.
we're in the same
we're
place.
Right on par. Yeah.
Like we haven't really evolved like we think we have on the surface.
Well, maybe this, maybe this WCRA and some of this stuff is gonna. We've talked about it before on here. I think it's gonna, at least just. I don't know that it's the answer, but I know that it's at least gonna challenge the authority that rules over professional rodeo at this point, and it's gonna make us all make some tough decisions, and we're gonna have to. Hopefully, when the dust is settled, rodeo will be better because of the athlete having some options.
Yeah. I've got a different way of thinking about this as well, like from a fan base. Rodeo is really cool because it goes to so many different places. It is literally in every county, every small town, right? But it's rarely in these big cities besides Dallas and San Antonio and Houston and things like that, right? But if we can expand this to going places like what they just did in San Diego, what the WCRA did there, Portland, Seattle, like all these quote unquote more of a liberal leaning place. But I think a lot of these people oppose Western way of life, rodeo, because of a lack of knowledge. They don't know anything about it. And being able to bring something like this to these big cities, I think is only going to help just the awareness of the Western way of life in general, but also get people to the rodeo and actually see what it's about and see that it's not this, hick town, we're dating our cousins kind of shit. Like, like, I don't know. That's what people in the city think about rodeo sometimes.
No, right.
And it's so far from the truth. They think
like
we're a bunch of
country
rednecks.
and cowboy are very different things.
Yeah, they confuse
not that country people
Arkansas.
are doing that either. But. I completely I completely agree. I think that we just need to make rodeo fans. I saw that San Juan Capistrano, they canceled their rodeo. There's a lot of them. I mean, they've been going for forever, and I think I don't know this for a fact, but I think some of it has to do with the uphill battle they climb in California.
I would definitely agree with that.
Livestock welfare and just all the. It's like, man, they finally said the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and that was top 5 favorite rodeo that I ever got to go to. It was such a cool rodeo.
That is one of the coolest rodeos ever. Hands down,
dude.
Like,
it's
just
insane. Bucking shoots on both ends of the arena.
Yeah.
They did that before it was normal, like at the American and stuff. I mean, they've had bucking shoots at both ends of the arena, the tents on the side. Like, it's just a really and a lot of money. For at least for me,
animals.
There was great animals, a lot of added money. They gave prizes to the winners of each day, not just the winners overall. Like, it was just a really good rodeo, and I hated to see it go. But I think that we have to. We're responsible for educating people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're responsible for taking people along and showing them rodeo and showing them what it really is, not what people say it is. And if we leave that up to somebody else to do, it doesn't get done. I think that we all have to be, as contestants or fans or people that have lived past contestants, like, we're all responsible for the well-being of rodeo to some degree.
Well, in the past, it was acceptable, I think, to think that there will be people come along and do the right thing, and it won't get through, right? Those thought processes, these bans won't come through. And in today's world, we're in a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to that, because ain't nobody stepping forward, really. Everyone's kind of sitting there to the side and not wanting to say anything, and we've got to do something, and we have to stand up for what we believe in and what we love. And that's kind of what you're talking about, is like, we've got to fix that, and people have to start helping that. And these events like this do that for the masses, because I don't know if you've looked at any of like the voting, how voting affects states. You'll look at a whole state, and the whole thing will be one way, and then you look at the mass populations in control in areas, and they will decide the fate of the entire state.
That's
Well,
Illinois.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's Colorado. It's everywhere. But if we can get events like this into those concentrated areas and show them what being a cowboy is really about, and that America needs this right now, dude, it's going to be huge. Rodeo can save the country.
Rodeo can save the country.
Bold statement, but I'm with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think rodeo has a lot to offer. Okay, now I don't want to, but I do want to chat just a little bit about JB as the head coach of the Oklahoma Wildcatters. I think that is super cool.
Does he have an assistant coach, or is just him?
He's the head coach, and there's a professional. I'm gonna butcher this. Somebody listening is like, you're an idiot, but there's a golfer.
A golfer.
Taylor Gooch.
Okay,
he owns it. He owns the team.
Oh.
Yeah, he owns the team, and then JB's the head coach. What a great number one. Oklahoma has to have a team. Now that the Oklahoma quote unquote freedom has moved to Florida, you need a team in Oklahoma without a doubt. And then
They
to bring in JB,
good end of the deal there.
Think about they did, but think about the fan base. Not only are you appealing now to people that actually like live in Oklahoma and want to have a home team, but how many people, we've talked about it all the time, people that would go to bull ridings just to watch JB. And if JB didn't get on, they'd leave. They don't. So all the JB's hundreds of thousands of fans around the country are now, I mean, until I'm proven different, I'm going to say that Oklahoma Wildcatters has the largest fan base of any PBR team.
Which is, they really probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Merch, unless they come out and just absolutely suck, which I don't think.
Well, they'll still sell. I mean, you nailed it on the head. They're gonna still. I can just see it now. Like they're gonna have silhouettes of JB's face or JB's head or whatever, and the Wildcatters logo. Like the merch is gonna just go wild, because JB is JB.
Yeah.
But yeah, Taylor Gooch, he was one of the guys that made the switch to the LIV golf back when PGA was trying to shut that down. And so he's made a good career over there. And I believe, I don't know for sure, but I believe that he was a partners in like another sports franchise maybe, and then sold out of that to purchase this PBR team. So
that's awesome.
It's a pretty cool dynamic. And he's an Oklahoma boy too.
I love that these other athletes from different realms are getting into rodeo.
Dude,
yes.
Like
that's
we heard
exactly
about
right.
Flex with
Austin
Bulls
Dillon
and all these other guys.
Yeah, Austin Dillon with the Carolina Cowboys. Like it's
and,
it's cool. Cowboy Cerrone's gonna get on a bull. Like that's freaking cool as shit.
It is pretty awesome. I was talking with an announcer. Man, I don't know why his name is eluding me. It makes me so frustrated. He did El Paso last year from Louisiana, kind of a bigger guy, and so funny. Anyway, we were talking in El Paso last June, about the rodeo and the competition schedule, and he was like, "So, man, I'll tell you what, man, I watch a bunch of golf, and I like talk to a bunch of golfers. I think golf is pretty similar."
It
rodeo.
Is very
he was
similar.
explaining it. They're like responsible for their travel. Sure, some of the big dogs are staying in mansions, at these, but they're responsible for their travel. A lot of times when you're trying to get in, you're just sharing a hotel with another golfer. You know what I'm saying? You're traveling from town to town. You're responsible for your travel, your logistics. There's an event over there. You can enter it. If you can get there and show up and you happen to win, then you win money. If you don't do good, then you don't win money, so like it was pretty interesting that I had never thought about the comparison in the competition schedule and the way that logistically perfect. So it would make
sense.
And
that the tournament style rodeos that are coming up, like those are modeled after PGA.
Yeah, that's
events.
Exactly right.
Because like it starts as an open, so like anybody can enter, and then it gets more difficult to get to the final day. Or I don't know exactly how golf works, but it's very similar to what these tournament style rodeos like Houston, San Antonio have all moved to.
And the mental aspect,
really cool.
There's a reason so many guys play golf that are on the road. Well, first of all, it's something to do, but like my brother talks about it all the time. It's one of the things he uses to sharpen his mental game, because in golf, it's really easy to overthink that and try little things here and there, and you just keep messing up. And he says to himself, if I just do the mechanics perfectly and I tell myself to do that all day, when I get to the arena, it makes it a lot easier for me to stick to those guns with my mechanics and my basics
Well,
there.
most of I don't want to say most of that, might be an overstatement, but a lot of the books, at least that I know about, on the subject of mental toughness or mindset, are all written by golf pros.
Yep.
And a lot of them are based on the
Isn't
subject
there a
of
book
golf.
called The Game of Golf or something like that?
Yes.
It's a really
something along those
it's
lines.
a really
Something-
good
yep.
mental book. I just can't
Yep.
remember the
Yep.
exact name of it.
Yep.
It's
We
awesome.
need Tyler. That's what we need. Tyler we could have kept Tyler typing, pecking away this entire episode. Look at fact checking us for sure.
You know, I know. We do. We really need him.
He's a tech guy, especially when we go off on tangents like this and we start to. But anyway, I love to see the PBR teams deal. You know, I'm really excited to see how Cooper Davis performs this year with a year off. You know, I mean, he didn't go
Sage
to
too,
yeah. I don't
Sage
know.
isn't rodeo.
Yeah, Sage
I
is
mean,
so
he's PBR and he doesn't necessarily have the year off,
Oh.
but
yeah,
it's
but
probably way more refreshing than rodeo is
yeah, that's very true
on the body.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see what happens for some of those guys, and I would love to see if we see some more guys follow in Cooper's path. You know, some of those more experienced guys that have kind of been there, done that, and decide to like, hey, I still love riding bulls. I still want to do it, but I also want to be with my family. This is a way for me to support my family and still do what I love and be home most of the year and train like an athlete and have an actual off season and actually get bigger, faster, stronger. And actually,
I want to see how much longer he's going to be able to ride bulls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In comparison to having to get on over and over and over, minus the burnout of he's been riding bulls a long time. And I don't care how long or how much you love something. Every now and then it gets a little old. And so to keep it fun and fresh and new, and every time he gets on, he's looking forward to it. I'm excited to see that Tom Brady effect. I hope that's one of our first guys we see do that in a few years.
Yeah. And I think that's his mindset around it too. Like that was one of the things that he said in his statement when he, said he was
why don't we get
stepping back from regular season. He was like, I could probably ride for 5 to 10 more years now. Whereas like if I keep going all the time, who knows when that's going to end? It could be a lot shorter. And that's a guy that like has been very upfront about burnout. He's taken time off before just because he doesn't want to be there. And most guys, like you don't hear about that. Maybe they don't do it, maybe they do it and they just don't tell anybody. But I mean, he's been very upfront. Like he'll take injury, or doctor releases or whatever to go hunting for a few weeks. And he's definitely a pioneer. Like I have the utmost respect for him and can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, me too.
It's gonna be cool.
Hope some guys take a page out of his book and cut back on the sport volume a little bit. Keep the income high. Cut back on the amount of bulls you have to get on and see your career.
Well, and that's just the thing. Like, I mean, that's kind of been like the theme of this whole conversation is keeping the income high and taking time off they're not congruent with each other. And until maybe now. And I don't even think every team has the opportunity for people to be able to do that.
No.
But maybe
definitely not
in
yet.
the near future, like we'll get there.
Yep.
Couldn't agree more, man.
It's all progressing.
Could not agree more. Well, today we just kind of free-rolled it. Got to chat about some of the fun things that are going on, new and upcoming things. These are all, man, they could be huge for the sport, all of these events that we're talking about. And I think they're all laying the foundation for what is to come in professional rodeo. And I think we're going to start seeing it on a lot bigger stage, a lot more frequently, and hopefully getting the rest of the city to love what we're doing, which I think, man, once they get in front of it, there's no denying that I think everyone loves rodeo when they get to it and have some fun there. Guys, until next time, we'll catch you later.